All right. So, hi, this is Adam Stern, CEO of Strat SFR. I'm here with Will Kelley, head of Kairos Development, the owner and developer of this Cypress Point projects. And Will, I wanted to do this video for everyone that's been looking at the deck that we put out this week about the Cypress Point 143 townhome project. So Will Kelley, thanks for being with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. I wanted to do this video with you to kind of give everyone that's looking at the deck a better sense of like the why Aiken, Augusta, why this piece of dirt in particular, what you guys saw in the market and the project, right? So let me just kind of ask you, at a high level, this is the Augusta MSA, right? So
right.
What drove you here?
So, just like everybody else, we're looking at Augusta. Augusta's a great market. And we were looking at, okay, where's the niche? We mainly initially were chasing the schools. Mm-hmm. And we also noticed when we narrowed it down to a decent school district, which to us is, an average of 7 or above, that there were very few in the Augusta MSA.
Right.
All of the Aiken schools met that requirement for us. And then the next level down was population growth and income growth over the past 10 years. And that just kind of kept driving us to this Aiken market. We also really liked the kind of lack of comparable rental housing. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we quickly found a study by the Aiken Chamber of Commerce talking about the lack of middle to upper end rental housing or quality rental housing in this market.
Right.
And then that drove us to Aiken. Once we identified the 2 sites we own in Aiken, we had third-party market studies done on both of them, and it confirmed that for us.
And we have that market study in the deck.
You have that in the Dropbox.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been doing this, since the beginning of the Bill for Rent, and everyone talks about tertiary markets as kind of being really interesting. But when it comes time to actually underwrite, a tertiary market, you guys, as part of your strategy, really like tertiary markets because there was less competition, land was cheaper, and if you could find a tertiary market that had as good of fundamentals or better than some of the top 20 markets with a 1 million+ population, that's kind of what drove you to the Augusta Aiken MSA, right? It sounds like.
Right. You're going to be able to rent a very nice new construction townhome here for, potentially under $1,800 a month.
Yeah. Right.
The under 10 minutes to several major employment centers. You're 500 yards from the interstate, and you can send your kids to very highly ranked public schools. It's just very hard to find new build opportunities to hit that price point with that quality of a location. And that's what we're taking.
And I want to bring, part of what I saw on this is you have, Firestone next door. You have all these other manufacturing plants. You have other manufacturing plants scattered around. To me, American manufacturing is all going away, right? And there are few markets where manufacturing is still very much alive and thriving. Aiken seems to be one of them. The thing about manufacturing is people touch and feel things. They build things. They can't sit in front of their computers and work from home. They have to be there, which means
your tenant base here is not going to have to move to Boise on you and work from their laptops.
Right. Exactly.
You have very highly paid manufacturing jobs here. You have international companies with their U.S. manufacturing facilities, several of them within 10, 15, 20 miles of the site, including right there. You have Bridgestone next door.
Right. Yep. So you
have about 2,000 employees at that plant. And if you take salaried employees out, their average hourly wage is about $26 an hour. So, you nailed the smack middle of your target tenant base for this townhome project.
Right. And if you're driving, what most people are, 30 to 40 minutes because they're living in North Augusta or Augusta, then, Augusta's 20 minutes away, right? So they're driving 20 to 30 minutes. If they're driving by a new townhome project where they get to have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1-car garage with a driveway and a yard, that's a pretty compelling thing, especially
at a significantly cheaper price point than the same product in Augusta proper, and with a higher ranked public school district than Augusta.
Right. So let's talk about other rentals in the market, because D.R. Horton's actually building a project that's about what is it? It's 8 miles away. It's a 15-minute drive, shorter as the crow flies. By this project over here,
So
called
this
Trump.
is actually a retail deal, but you're right that
That's right.
not
Yes.
so much the single family detached, but the attached townhomes. Seems a good many of them have been sold to investors for rentals.
Right. And those townhomes are the D.R. Horton Express product. I want to highlight the fact that your product is at a much better spec level than the D.R. Horton Express level product, right? So
Yeah, and everything's negotiable on the spec level, right? But the way we have it planned to build and priced to build right now, we're at a vastly higher spec level than D.R. Horton Express. So D.R. Horton Express obviously is all carpet, it's laminate countertops, there's no granite, no hard surfaces. Those are the two main touch points. We can go on. It's lower quality cabinets. There's no appliances included. There's no blinds included.
Yeah,
we're planning to build a significantly nicer product at our site.
Yeah, and any buyer can come in and pick their unit mix and pick their spec level.
Spec level, right?
At the price level we're talking about, like we offered the 1,381 square foot unit at 217,500. That D.R. Horton Express product is selling for 220 and above at a lower spec level. So really, our product, if we retail it, should be in the, call it 235 to 240 range.
Right, I
so
think you priced it too low, Adam.
What's that?
I think you priced it too low.
Then we priced it too low too, but we're going to keep it because the and listen, these are rentals too, so you want to build to a higher spec level because you want to attract renters going to stay there for a long time, right?
Well, it's also designed for longevity and to decrease your turn cost. So we're also an operator, so we've thought through all that on our standard spec level.
Okay, so we kind of reviewed why the Augusta MSA. There's a lot of manufacturing jobs. There's also defense jobs there, healthcare jobs there. You had kind of keyed into it because I look at Aiken and Augusta kind of where Greenville, South Carolina was 5 years back, and Greenville has actually exploded with development and population and job growth. I think this is kind of along that same track, personally.
I think Aiken even more so than Augusta, just because Aiken has some of the cultural draws that Greenville had 15 years ago. I mean, people are opening restaurants in Aiken. Aiken has two historic, very well nationally ranked hotels. And of course, it has a stop on the U.S. Polo circuit, which is kind of a unique, weird thing you wouldn't expect.
Right. Yeah. And you got the Augusta National Golf Course, which hosts them.
You have the Masters too in Augusta.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So in terms of other growth, like D.R. Horton's actually making a big play at Augusta. I think you had mentioned D.R. Horton's planning on building another large community pretty close by.
So Horton actually has contracted with our original land seller to buy about 100 acres just west of our site, where Springdale in 22 comes out to the interstate on the other end, but
Okay.
half a mile from our site on the same side of I-20.
Okay, gotcha. So you've got this site, which is 20 minutes just north of downtown Aiken, right? So that's that. And it's about 20 minutes away from Augusta. So like part of what I think people have a problem underwriting this market, it's out there, right? So it's not in the city center at Aiken or Augusta. It's halfway in between. Like in terms of like drivability to different job centers, I think it's a good thing, but it also makes it a pretty hard deal to underwrite in terms of like what you think the exit opportunity is going to be, right? So the main driver, it seems like, why you pick this particular piece of dirt, number one, it's right next to the interstate, so you're right off I-20. You're halfway.
With no frontage on I-20 though. You're not backing to the interstate with any of the units.
Say that one more time.
With no frontage on the interstate though. None of the units are backing to the interstate or touching the interstate. I think our closest units 50, 60 yards off 20. There's one parcel in between us and the interstate.
Got it. Yep. Yeah. And you're kind of the same kind of distance from the interstate as these other large. These are retail developments that are being developed right now, correct? Right down here.
There's two very large deals at the same exit. We're at just south of the interstate. You can see them on the map right there.
Right. Got it. Do you know who's building these? Are these D.R. Horton as well, or these other
buildings? The one on the right, or the one to the east, there is a closed out Horton deal. And the one to the west is a still active, but in the final stages deal by Great Southern Homes.
Great Southern Homes. Okay. Do you know if these are townhomes or single family homes or a mix of both?
I think they both have a mix of both.
Okay.
I know the Horton deal does. I'm not sure about Great Southern.
Got it. All right. So the plan for this, so everyone knows, is You guys are pretty much done with horizontal development. You're just starting to deliver finished lots right now. What's the game plan in terms of the sale of this community? So you're going to finish the lots. The opportunity here is either to buy finished lots from Karos Development and bring in a third-party builder, or of course buy completed units from.
Yeah, we're very flexible. I mean, we'll look at any opportunity, but as far as timelines, today is the 14th of July. We expect to have the final plat. We're actually in for it now. We expect to have it by the end of next month. And then vertical construction starts in September. This townhome product, if we built it, we can build it on a 100 to 110 day build cycle. And then, start delivering units right at the end of the year, beginning of 2024. And we can deliver 10 to 12 units a month.
Got it. Yep. So one opportunity, buy finished lots from you guys, take it off your hands. Other opportunity is forward contract for finished units. Take those off your hands. Do I have that right?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Last question for you. A lot of builders or people that are looking at the lots are asking about takedown timelines. You guys are delivering these lots at a pace of like 10 finished lots per month currently. In terms
we're
of
going to deliver the lots all at once.
You are okay.
Yes. So all 143 will be final platted in the next 45 days.
Got it.
As far as vertical finished home deliveries, we get the 10 to 12 a month pace.
Understand. Okay. Well, this is great. It helps me out understand your thought process of why Aiken, why Augusta, why this particular piece of dirt. Will, I appreciate your time, man. It's been great.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam.
All right. See ya.